How's it going, everybody? Today we've got an Algethar 8, I want to say. This one didn't give us any IO, but it was still a fun run. It was really clean, which was nice. So here at the start, I think I go for versatility because we love versatility. I already have really high haste and mastery. My haste could be better, but it's not terrible. I think I'm around 50% when I'm fully buffed. So this trash, it's Fort Week here. I pulled it in, I want to say twos. So here I got the Hornets and one pack started melting really quick, so I was like, alright, I'll pull another one. Drop Death and Decay. Try to space them out a little bit because one of us, our PC, really tries to lock up when we're doing really big bowls and there's a lot of numbers. So I didn't really want to bring it's really fun to pull everything in this key. It's very, very fun, but it's just not worth it because it would probably had caused the death. So I pulled it a lot more safe. Just pushing those buttons. And then here's the last pack. Munchies is really getting the hang of Kitty, at least for AoE. He's doing very large damage. We have Charlie in this one too, which is pretty awesome. Charlie he's usually in or out. We have a couple people in our group, so the only ones that are very consistently placed are myself and Evan, because we tank and heal. And we have, I think, 4 or 5 DPS that we usually move around, because maybe somebody's not on, somebody is, that kind of thing. But yeah, we clean these up. Alright, Overgrown Ancient. This boss is very easy, and I don't know why people make it look difficult. It's not. You stack on the tank, as you can see here. Munchies is in the rear because he's stealth class. A lot of times they have to be in the back. He comes to us just before he starts doing a Germinate. There's a part breaker. Health didn't move. It is an 8. Yeah. So here comes the first Germinate. We always move clockwise as a group, nice and stuck together. And then we just AoE down these mobs. So, easy as that. When you're all spread out and running around like nuts, it makes it a lot harder to AoE down the ads. And then once the branch comes out, you interrupt it. I drop a Chains of Ice on it and then start running away because the boss will heal if he's inside that. So it's especially important on tyrannical weeks that you move the Overgrown Ancient away from that circle. And being a Blood Death Knight, the tiny little dot that it puts on you, it really doesn't hurt that bad. So this is where the ads come out, and I have Big CD and Snap Threat ready for that. Pop AMS to stop the dot from stacking up on me. GG. Easy fight. It's that easy on Tyrant too. It's not a hard fight. For some reason, that is the key killer in here for a lot of people. Personally, I think Veximus is a much more difficult fight, but that's just me. Alright, so here's the Sentry. Season 1, you could just disadvance and stand in the knockback and it didn't do that much damage, but I feel like they buffed the damage that Expel Intruders does, so I usually just avoid it consistently if I'm tanking or DPSing. And you can just either back away from it or line of sight it, either or. I'm trying to get room for my melee DPSers to hit it. And then Charlie's just hanging out on the side, doing all the damage. He doesn't really have to move. Big swing, storm slash. That hurts. Big damage. On a higher key, I'd probably want to use cooldowns on this guy just because of how much damage the storm slash does, but not a very big key, so all good. And so here are the Eagles. Really easy packs. When the alphas come out, you just want to interrupt the alphas so that they don't buff all the little ones. Stay out of the gusts so you don't get knocked out of the platform. You know, easy peasy. We're just breaking down our rotation, you know, doing the damage. I think Charlie was kind of dead in the water there because he used all of his CDs on that big guy. There's a knockback. I just kind of stand in it because, you know, I'm awesome like that. Call the flock. Very important to interrupt. It buffs all the other little ads. Can get pretty gnarly. And then this guy does put a bleed on you. We're not really scared of those because I play a dwarf. Like all my tanks are dwarves. So, you know, just because dwarves are the awesome, coolest. They're just, you know, short people with beards, just like me in real life. Evan get kind of slapped there a little bit because he charged in before they got hit by Death and Decay. Nobody died. All good. But this is a very clean run. This is Algethar. I'm pretty sure as a group we have Algethar down to a science. We haven't had a bad run in Algethar with the 5 of us. Been very, very clean. I think it's a key that I definitely want to try pushing fairly high. Because again, the goal this season is 3,500. We're kind of dragging our feet because we're playing Mop Remix, and it's actually really fun. If you guys haven't been playing it, and you've kind of been, I don't know if I'll have fun playing Mop again, it's very different. I was in the same boat. I didn't think it was going to be good, but the blending of retail with Season of Discovery with Mists of Pandaria, it's really interesting. It's a very interesting playstyle. Alright, so this boss, he's got a pushback that does a lot of damage. You want to step out of that, even as a DK. The Savage Peck does a crap ton of physical damage and applies a pretty nasty bleed on you. On Tyran, this guy chunks. And then, of course, there's Deafening Screech. We don't really concern ourselves with that as a tank. It's the DPS's jobs to grab the orbs and put them in the puddles. And I think we're going to cause the fire one fairly quickly because, as you can see, we have both puddles up already. So we're just going to dump fire here. After this third Screech, I want to say. Evan goes down there. I don't think he was ready for the damage. It was kind of surprising how much damage it did. Charlie lost the orb there. Because if you hold it too long, it despawns. Okay, he threw it in, and here comes Firestorm. So at this point, the boss takes increased damage. So if you can save your CDs and pop them here, you can destroy the boss's health bar. Just absolutely annihilate it. But we're doing good. We're doing consistent damage. The boss is going down. You don't really do the Gust Puddle unless you absolutely have to, in my opinion. You know, if you're doing Tyran, really high Tyran. Unless you have classes that benefit from haste a lot more. I mean, I still have the bleed on me ticking away. Alright, so this is where the packs get kind of fun. I like this part of the dungeon. There's a lot of potential damage to take here. I know that sounds silly, but it's an interesting part of the dungeon. Very, very kind of clenchy. Gotta roll through cooldowns here, even on, you know, a lower key. There's a good bit of damage, a lot of physical, a lot of magic, a good bit of trash. So this pack here, I try to pull a little closer to that pillar, kind of in the bottom right corner of the screen there, so that Charlie can stand there and line of sight it. I think I got caught by the breath there, but that's okay. So what happens here now is every time it jumps, it's going to want to jump at Charlie, and Charlie's going to hide in the corner and cause it to be line of sight, so the target or the Ravager won't jump. And the Ravager always breathes towards the tank, so making it so it doesn't jump. I may or may not have been trying to kill Charlie here. I don't know what you're talking about. I thought it was kind of funny, but you know, gotta have a little bit of antics in these lower keys. So Mythic Blast there, it requires a hard stop. It's pretty scary on higher keys. So you Death Grip stop it. If you're a DK, you can stun it. You can't conventional interrupt. You have to stop it, and it's pretty important to stop. It does a good amount of group damage. I think they nerfed it, but it still does consistently quite a bit of group damage. So here I pull all of it. You know, fairly low key. I think we had just failed something. We only +1'd a 9 or something. I don't remember. But anyway, we decided to really try to push this key. We wanted to push it up to a 10 or an 11. Again, Charlie's kind of hanging out over there, line of sighting the jump, so that the Rift Breath is in a consistent direction for the DPS. Because that's what it's about. It's about having that consistent direction and safe spot for your DPS and your healers. Because you're a tank, it's your job to take the damage. So here I get a little bit out of position. I scoot back over to the left. Everybody's safe again. For some reason, this mob wiggles a lot, as you see. Like, I'm sitting completely still for the most part. And the boss, or not the boss, but the mob is just kind of moving left and right for no reason. A lot of the larger hitbox mobs seem to do that. I do a double pull here. Munchie kind of rips aggro on one of them. Because I didn't drop a Death and Decay right on top. But we get everything together and just start pumping damage. Potato just goes up to a mil. Casual million DPS. Really good shit. This does kind of leave him a little dead in the water at the start of the boss, though. Which is no biggie. Even though I don't like Veximus. Veximus is kind of brutal, in my opinion. He's a bit more difficult than the other bosses in here. Like the first boss, the tree boss, people just make him look hard, in my opinion. He's not difficult. It's all about positioning. It's a mechanic fight, right? It's all about your positioning and doing the mechanics correctly. You do all that, easy fight. Same with this fight. It's all about mechanics. Do your mechanics and positioning correct, this fight's easy. But the damage in this fight is pretty legit. I think Potato gets smacked here when the boss comes out. I don't remember. You see Evan's kind of standing there underneath the boss. But I'm mashing my taunt button, as you can see. Okay, I got it this time. Remember that one time in No Cood? Just got slapped by the first boss? Yeah. So Veximus. So as a tank, you see the little darker triangle shapes. You want to stand in one of them. You don't want to put the boss on it, but you personally want to stand on one. And the reason you want to do that is because, as you can see, the orbs usually spawn in those quadrants. if you're standing on it. So it just, again, it gives that consistency. You can see Munchies has 3 stacks here. He's pretty aggressive with his orb grabbing. Nothing wrong with that. But as a tank, and especially as a DK, it's like, let them come to me. I can pick up more than one. I can AMS and stop the debuff completely. So it's like kind of whatever, you know. But very little movement on this fight for the tank. You don't really want to move around much. You want to keep them in one spot and just be consistent with your orb catching. The frontal does a decent amount of spell damage, but as a DK, you just, you know, pop AMS, pop Icebound Fortitude, pop Lichborn, you know, lots of options. So we do a double here. I always pull this in a double, and just consistent damage. Even right after the boss, we should have enough damage as a group to blast this pack. I know I had all my damage CDs. I really need to turn on Omni CD again, so I can keep track of everybody's CDs. See there, my health dropped to nothing. I should have probably popped Vampiric Blood or something here just to stay safe, but I was feeling pretty confident, so I didn't. Again, it's only an 8. Or we're all really starting to overgear these lower keys. I think we're kind of itching to get into the higher stuff and start progressing keys, but we haven't consistently been getting together, which really sucks. So haven't really been running keys. Alright, so these packs, they're kind of interesting. The Echo Knights, you can, if you stand below them on the stairs, their whirlwind will not hit you. So what you want to do is you want to try and pull them to the top of the stairs, very easy as a Death Knight, and then walk yourself a little bit down the stairs, and you and your DPS can sit there and hit them safely and not worry about whirlwind. It's a very consistent strategy that Blizzard hopefully won't remove. If they do, they do. It'll just make this section of trash a lot more dangerous for melee and tanks. You see Charlie kind of gets hit there by it. I do a double here. I think I was under the impression that I needed more trash, and I think I ended up not needing more trash, because at the end of this we were at like 97%. So I think we would have been at like 93 or 94. So we might have needed 1% trash, but you know, I was just being safe. Keeping that consistency, you know. I wouldn't want to pull this double normally, like in a higher key, unless we were consistent with our stops, because there's a lot of spells going off. Not enough interrupts. It's pretty gnarly. And that is one thing that I need to work on. I need to get better with my Sheet of Ice. I need to make sure that I cast that more often and keep it on cooldown more consistently when I'm fighting packs that can be stopped with it. I get hit by a lot of whirlwind damage there, but not really worried about it. You're at 99% and we still have 4 mobs up, so yeah. I don't think I needed the patrol. I don't remember what the thinking was. This key was early last week. So, yeah. Not bad, though. Not bad. You know, we're over by, 3%. 3 mobs, 3%-ish. So, it's not ideal, but I'm feeling pretty good here, so I go ahead and pull boss. Start getting her into position. Munchies almost goes down at the start, which would have been kind of crappy, but, And then I finish the mobs off, and we DPS Daragosa. So this boss is very boring. I would love to see Blizzard improve this boss if they bring it back. I don't want them to fuck with it for the rest of the season. But if they bring it back for like a season 3 or a season 4 of some other X-Pack, it could be fun. But this one's all about avoiding everything. If you get hit by a breath, you get a debuff. If you get hit by one of those orbs, you get a debuff. So it's all about avoiding all the mechanics, because when you get 4 stacks of the debuff, you drop a puddle. And you can, if you're in a group that gets hit by everything, you can very, very quickly fill this room up with puddles, and you're going to have a really bad time. But I consistently pulled a boss to one of these pillars on either the left or the right, and tank her there, and then with a very good group that is very good at avoiding mechanics, this fight is it's a laugh. Like, see there, I dropped a puddle, but that's because I had been hit by the debuff, by that circle debuff 4 times. So, and then we get another puddle there. So we're kind of getting choked here. Not a big deal. I pulled the boss into kind of troll position here because, you know, I wanted to mess with my buddies. So I stick her right in the middle of all 4 of those puddles, just because I can. And she goes down. Easy peasy. Let's toot it. Nice and easy. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Peace.